Semper Fi, everyone. Welcome to the latest installment of Recon Jack. I'm your host, United States Marine Corps veteran and living historian Chuck Lynch. On today's episode, I'll discuss the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, which is, you guessed it, the Drum and Bugle Corps of the U.S. Marine Corps. I dare you to say that 5 times fast. The United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps traces its history to the early days of the Marine Corps. In the 18th and 19th centuries, military musicians provided a means of passing commands to Marines in battle. The sound of various drum beats and bugle calls that could be heard over the noise of the battlefield signaled Marines to attack the enemy or retreat. Through the 1930s, Marine Corps posts still authorized several buglers and drummers to play the traditional calls and to ring a ship's bell to signal the time. Until the 1960s, Marine Corps units sported unit drum and bugle corps within their respective rosters. The D&B, the only such formation within the armed forces today, was formed on 9 November 1934, one day before the Marine Corps' 159th birthday, at historic Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., to augment the United States Marine Band to provide music for ceremonial functions. The Marine Corps adopted the G-piston bugle in 1938 to increase the musical scope of the Drum and Bugle Corps, claiming that these modern bugles have truly given a new life, a new character, and a new brilliance to the Drum and Bugle Corps. A manual published by the U.S. Marine Corps set forth the proper protocol that was to be utilized by military corps. The D&B provided musical support to ceremonies around the nation's capital, and it was additionally tasked with presidential support duties during World War II. The D&B was tasked with presidential support duties, accompanying President Franklin Roosevelt on his many trips to Warm Springs, Georgia, acting as his personal guard and providing musical entertainment. For this additional role, they were awarded the Scarlet and Gold Breast Cord by the President, which remains on the uniform worn proudly today. When the war ended, the D&B resumed performing at various military and public ceremonies. In the early 1950s, the unit gained considerable acclaim performing for an increasing number of civilian audiences. Originally, their instrumentation was similar to the other drum and bugle corps of the era. However, it has evolved along with the civilian corps, adapting trends after they have become established by the civilian corps. Music composed specifically for their unique selection of instruments helped establish their reputation for excellence during this period. These factors also led to the unit's formal designation as the Commandant's Own, a title noting their unique status as musicians for the Commandant of the Marine Corps. In 1956, the D&B was designated the official United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps by General Randolph M. Pate, the 21st Commandant of the Marine Corps. In 1968, Truman Crawford, formerly of the U.S. Air Force Drum and Bugle Corps, became a musical arranger and instructor for the Commandant's Own. During Crawford's 30-year career, he had a significant impact on the D&B comparable to that of John Philip Sousa on the United States Marine Band. The new rehearsal facility of the D&B at Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. is named Truman Crawford Hall in his honor. As one of many U.S. military bands, the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps consists of 80 active duty Marines dressed in ceremonial red and white uniforms, and they perform a variety of music from marches to jazz, patriotic, popular, and classical favorites. The D&B is entirely separate from its sister military band, the United States Marine Band, also known as the President's Own, as well as the 10 active duty U.S. Marine Corps field bands. The D&B travels more than 50,000 miles annually, performing over 400 events worldwide for millions of spectators each year, and it is recognized worldwide as a premier musical marching unit. Additionally, buglers from the unit have the distinct honor of providing standard funeral honors at Arlington National Cemetery. Like the United States Marine Band, prior to enlisting each potential member of the D&B, all must pass a competitive audition. Unlike members of the band, D&B members do undergo Marine Corps recruit training, where they are trained in very basic infantry tactics. Following boot camp and Marine combat training, D&B members proceed directly to the Commandant's Own. They do not attend military occupational specialty training. The D&B does not march in parades of state, but instead is held back in reserve by the Commandant of the Marine Corps. who may order anywhere since the Corps serves under the Commandant's immediate command. The field musicians of the D&B wear red and white uniforms with white gauntlets which cover the wrists and bear and play silver color brass instruments. The brass played by the D&B are bugles pitched in G major. Additionally, the bugles are two-valve models similar to those used by drum corps in the US and Canada prior to 1990. The D&B's current inventory of brass instrumentation was manufactured by the Cancel Musical Instruments Company in 2006. That same year, by proclamation from the 33rd Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Michael W. Haig, the unit was given its moniker, the Commandant's Own. According to the Marine Corps website, Captain Nathan D. Morris is the 7th and current director of the D&B, serving in this position since February 2022. Chief Warrant Officer 2 Courtney R. Lawrence is the executive officer and assistant director. Master Sergeant Joshua D. Dan Miller is the current drum major and senior enlisted advisor, with Gunnery Sergeant David J. Cox as the assistant drum major and company gunnery sergeant. During the summer months, the Commandant's Own performs in conjunction with the President's Own in the traditional Friday evening parades at the Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., and in the Sunset Parades at the Marine Corps War Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, every Tuesday evening. The parades are not street parades, but military parades consisting of ceremonial pomp that are symbolic of Marine professionalism, discipline, and esprit de corps. The unit travels the world along with the United States Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon and the official color guard of the Marine Corps as a United States Marine Corps Battle Color Detachment. At one point in U.S. history, there were over 60 drum and bugle corps serving in the nation's armed forces. Today, the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps carries on this historic legacy as the only musical unit of its kind serving on active duty in the United States Armed Forces. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Recon Jack, and perhaps you've learned something new. Stay tuned for more episodes as I continue to explore the hallowed history, traditions, and individuals of the United States Marine Corps. Please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell, and leave a comment in the section below. I always enjoy interacting with you folks and seeing the growth of this channel. Also, don't forget to tell a friend or family member or email me directly to recon_jack@hotmail.com. Until next time, Semper Fi, and carry on.